Welcome to episode 2 of Keep It on the DL. I'm Noah Angiolillo, and Devin Buonanno is joining me as well. Well, not joining me; it's our thing.
Yeah, thanks.
Let's break it. Let's break Syndergaard down. That's the hot news of the day. Syndergaard going to miss the 2020 season, perhaps some of 2021 after a UCL tear, and he's going to go get Tommy John now. I think the surgery is scheduled for Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's not a lot of sports news going on, but hearing this today, I thought there was a glitch on my phone or something, because I read that and I was like, what the heck is this? You know, obviously, he probably has not been throwing. If he has been, I mean, very little. But, I mean, personally, obviously this is my opinion, with this season, I think you're starting to see a trend. I think it started with Sale last week, same exact thing, and obviously Syndergaard today. I think
Severino before that.
Well, that I was going to say Sevy too, but I mean that was before all this happened, so the Yanks kind of knew that he was going to be gone all season when they were planning to play 162. Obviously, this year, last week with Sale and today with Syndergaard, they knew 162 wasn't going to happen, if they're even going to play half. So I kind of get it. Even if you have a little discomfort, if there's something there, get it done so we have you at least for most of the season for 2021. But I mean, anytime you have Jacob deGrom and Marcus Stroman as your 1-2, I don't care who your 3, 4, 5 is. And I mean, the Mets got a great bullpen too. So obviously Syndergaard's going to hurt not having them, but I think they'll be fine as far as their pitching staff goes.
Yeah, I mean the Mets have the rotation signing Porcello and Waka now to round out that rotation. And to say, like, you know, the Mets have a good bullpen on paper. They're not proven. That bullpen's not proven yet. Dylan Betances hasn't pitched in a year. You got to hope Seth Lugo comes back well, and you got Diaz and Familia who are coming off through their, you know, one of their worst seasons. So, you know, the bullpen's very untrustworthy. Syndergaard, not like he ate up a lot of innings, but, you know, his pitch counts tended to be high through 6. You know, he'd be right around 100 pitches through 6. So not too much, I guess, length that they're going to be missing. So one thing is, though, I think they handled this correctly and incorrectly. Yes, it's correct for him to get the surgery. I think we're going to see this done with a lot more teams going forward. Maybe you're going to see a couple guys saying, hey, just get the surgery. I mean, each week that goes by is just, you know, we're supposed to see Garrett Cole pitch in 2 days, opening against the Orioles in 2 days. That's not happening. So, I mean, I think you're going to see more guys maybe get that surgery, which is why, I mean, I have no idea what Aaron Judge's, like, rib cage is going on with that. If surgery is a sure fix, I would be like, just get it. Just go get it at this point. Because I think a lot of players right now might say, hey, let me just get that, you know, tweak I needed, and then I'll be good to go by the end of the season. Or, you know, just say, hey, sit the season out. It's already going to be 100 games, and go from there. Then the incorrect way I think the Mets did this was going way back to last year. I would have tried to get rid of Syndergaard. I would have tried to trade him, and I would have kept Zach Wheeler. And if the Mets did that, they'd be in a lot better shape at the moment.
I don't know about that, Lou.
I would have traded Syndergaard. I mean, Syndergaard has been out there on social media. He's a little bit of a head case. You know, needing these guys. I don't want to throw to Wilson Ramos, but Wilson Ramos is the big RBI producer in that lineup, whether you like it or not. So he's got complaints about, you know, his catching. He's had manager complaints before. He's very open on Twitter and just voices his opinion, which isn't a bad thing. But when it criticizes your ball club, it doesn't help. I would have tried to dump him, get some prospects back, and sign Zach Wheeler. That's what I would have done if I was the Mets. But now they decided to let Wheeler walk. Now he's on the Phillies, and now they got Syndergaard out for this whole year. So I think that's one way the Mets went wrong.
But you know what? Touching upon that, I just don't think. I mean, Brody, I think he's a smart guy. I really like that hire when they hired him. And I really think he knows what he's doing. And obviously last year, I just pulled up Noah's stats from last year. I know he was on the block a little bit, but I mean, they were kind of floating DeGrom there too, even the year before. But I mean, having DeGrom and Syndergaard as your 1-2, it's tough to beat. I just think Syndergaard was a much more established player than Wheeler ever was. I think Wheeler had a lot of potential and just really...
Wheeler had stretches. He had stretches where he was the number one in a rotation where you're like, wow, that guy could be a number one right now. We're in those stretches. But then I think starting off each year, he started off slow. He was a really slow starter, Wheeler.
Harvey did too. Harvey was the best pitcher in baseball for 3 years. Easily. I mean, coming up, all four of those guys, oh my God, DeGrom, Wheeler, Harvey, Syndergaard. How are the Mets ever going to lose that division? They had 4 number one starters in their rotation, and it clicked for them once, I guess, when they had that fluke trip to the World Series in 2015. But I mean, I think that, I guess going back to Syndergaard, I guess he really just wasn't healthy, I guess. Even after last year, he had an off year. I mean, he still was 10-day. He had an ERA a little over 4. But he pitched 197 and a third innings. So he pitched a lot and still had 202 strikeouts. He for him, that's good. But, I mean, I guess it's a trend with these guys that just throw hard. The body can't handle it. Sevy, Sale, Syndergaard. I think it's going to be a trend. Unfortunately, obviously, I hope it doesn't.
I mean, you guys are just going to get it younger and younger now. You saw Clark Schmidt get it, a Yankees prospect get it already. I mean, guys are just going to get it younger. I don't think hard throwing is just going to leave baseball. I think that's too much of a stretch to say that, you know, guys that throw 99, 100 are going to be looked at as like, oh, I don't know if I should take this guy. They're still going to be taken. They're just going to, you know, any sight of it just be like, get the surgery now, and then, you know, we'll move forward.
I think pitch counts are going to be much more of a thing now. I mean, I don't think you're going to see guys...
I mean, they've always been a thing the last 3 years. You don't see guys hit, you know, that 100 is the magic marker. It's just boom. That's it.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think managers are being a lot more conscientious of the postseason and staying fresh for the postseason. I think you're really going to see teams put a
So
lot
you're
of
saying
money
you think
and
90 is going to be the new 100?
I think it's going to have to be. Personally, I think Boone is at the forefront of this. He's been really vocal. I know you can probably agree with me, Lou, on keeping his guys fresh for October and lean on his bullpen. I really think so.
Right, but I think last year you saw it Ottavino not being sharp in October. I mean, you know, give and take. I mean, you got to rest up that bullpen for October. You saw Ottavino was terrible, and they really only had, you know, Chapman gave up the homer, so their bullpen wasn't lights out in October.
I'm not counting that homer.
I mean,
I'm not counting that homer.
It still happened. I mean, I knew that Chapman was throwing a slider there, so I wouldn't put it past Altuve not to sit on it because I was literally sitting on it watching the game. I was like, he's going to hang a slider here, and if Altuve's sitting on it, this game's over. I pretty much said that in my head.
You had your buzzer in your pocket.
No buzzers. Just my cell phone that I got a few texts after that homer. But yeah, I mean, you can say sure, take out the pitcher with 90 pitches, but then someone else in that bullpen is going to have to throw those 10 pitches. So you're not really totally saving your bullpen throughout the season, and I guess we saw it bite with Adam Ottavino, but, you know, Zach Britton wasn't affected. Zach Britton was great in those playoffs last year.
Yes.
Who kind of gets very underlooked in that Yankee bullpen.
Oh, big time, I don't mind that at all.
So.
I don't mind that at all.
So just.
I mean, I don't, the Yanks obviously don't get through the Twins there in the ALDS without Sevy getting out of that jam, and that was Game 3 or Game 4?
Game 3 on the road.
Game 3.
Yep.
Obviously up in Target Field in Minneapolis.
Yep.
And he went 6. No,
I think he got taken out after that. I think that was it after he got out of there.
So scratch that. But I think it's going to be a trend. I hope not, but
we'll see. But
we'll see.
that'll pretty much wrap it up in the baseball talk. Another thing to mention, Aaron Boone said Stanton, if there was spring training going on, would probably see a few at-bats. So Stanton, at this rate, will be ready to go opening day, so that's a bright spot. Judge is still improving his he's partially collapsed lung and his rib thing. He's still trying to get healthy and still rehabbing. So that'll.
I mean, it's a good. In terms of baseball talk, for guys that have to be healthy. I mean, especially in the Yanks' case, they were going to go into the game on Thursday without Judge and without Stanton, and obviously Stanton was getting a lot of crap for it. So I mean, he seems like a good guy, and when he's in the lineup, oh my God, that is a scary lineup. Anytime you can have a Giancarlo Stanton bat in your lineup healthy, the Yanks are going to take it, whether the season has to be delayed until late May or whenever it is. So I hope it's a good thing for Stanton. I really do. I feel for him. It's just kind of a bad luck type of thing. And if Judge is out for any period of time and Stanton can kind of pick up his slack, the Yankee fans are going to forget it and they're going to love him.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Come back and perform when you're in New York. You got to come back and perform. And then I guess two things, I just thought about this. Two things we're waiting on from baseball. Still nothing on if anything's coming of the Apple Watch gate with the Red Sox. This thing was supposed to be done a month ago. We're still waiting for news from that. I don't know if they just completely put a halt to it with everything going on. But yeah, we're waiting on that. And the other thing is Yasiel Puig's still a free agent. I thought he'd be a good fit for the Yankees if this Stanton calf injury keeps barking, and if Judge gets surgery, I would take a risk on Yasiel Puig in the outfield.
I've been a huge fan of Puig since high school. I've been a big fan of him. I love him. He is a fiery player. He can hit bombs. He's got a rocket of an arm. I don't see why the Yanks wouldn't take a shot at him, especially, even Hicks is going to be out, so the Yanks still have that hole.
Hicks might have a chance to start the season.
Yeah, oh my God. Well, no one knows.
Aaron Hicks might have a chance to start the season, so does James Paxton at this point. But let's move on to the New York Jets. Oh, no, let's do the Giants first. My fault. Giants, because there's a little less on them, a little more on the Jets. Yep. Giants signed Dion Lewis, kind of a questionable signing. I think, I thought Dion Lewis was going to end up with Brady in Tampa, but that didn't happen. Maybe Judge saw something in Dion Lewis and wanted him there, if he thinks he has something to teach Barkley. But, Barkley is your first down, second down, third down back. This guy should not come off the field unless he just ran for 50 yards and he's gassed. But I don't really see a role here for Dion Lewis other than maybe a play every 5 series maybe. But he's a Giant.
It's a good backup to have. Obviously Barkley is the cornerstone of your franchise, the cornerstone of your offense. Everywhere you look at it, you got to have him down. You got to have him on the field for all 3 downs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And obviously the offense is going to be carried upon Barkley, which is completely fine. But the Dion Lewis thing, I have no problem with that. Is it a health thing? Going back to health for
Barkley?
Saquon?
He had that high ankle sprain, but that was it.
Yeah, but he's a 22-year-old back. You shouldn't have anything to worry about. But,
no, but I don't know. It's just questionable if that they could spend their money elsewhere, and you wanted to give something to Dion Lewis.
I think you have more things to worry about.
Absolutely. 100%. Just a little questionable. A couple other guys they brought back Corey Coleman after he missed the entire season last year. And their backup quarterback is Colt McCoy. So Daniel Jones goes down. Colt McCoy will be the backup for the Giants. Giants to-do list right now, they still need to improve the defense. They still need that edge rusher. They signed Bradbury to play corner. But the 2 biggest edge rushers are Jadeveon Clowney and Everson Griffin. And Everson Griffin is a beast. If you watch the game he had against the Giants last year, he was all over. He was all over Daniel Jones. He was in the backfield on every single play. So basically, I'm just taking whoever's the cheaper option. I would be totally fine with either. Clowney's asking for over $20 million, and he's coming off 3 sack season. So I think his price needs to come down. And I've been looking for something in 15, 16 a year price range, but I'm hoping the Giants get one of those two guys. And the Jets made some move as well.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess sticking with Clowney or Griffin, the Jets are in the same boat. It seems as if the Jets have been in search of some guy off the edge for some time now, almost ever since the Calvin Pace days. So it's been almost 7 or 8 years. They missed out on Josh Allen last year, obviously deferring him, but they're going to be in the running for Clowney. But I'm a big fan of Joe Douglas. I did not see that hiring coming last year. He's a player development guy, and really basically built that Eagles team that went to the Super Bowl. He is beloved around the league. He's trusted. And the little moves that he's been doing with the Jets, I can't commend him anymore. They have the second most cap in the league, a little over $30 million. But I wouldn't mind seeing them with a big splash with Clowney. I mean, I'm very hungry for a guy on the edge, especially a guy his caliber.
Break the bank. I mean, if the Jets break the bank and the Giants don't, I mean, you're basically Gettleman signing hopping on a one-way ticket out of there if the Jets go out and sign one of these guys and the Giants don't.
But you know what, Lou? It's not going to happen. Douglas isn't going to shell out.
No, I don't think it's going to happen for the Jets either. I'm just saying if the Jets were to do something like that, Gettleman's on a one-way ticket out of New York.
Yeah. I think so.
So who did the Jets get, Dev?
Well, I mean, we got this year, the corner from the Colts, which is a weird cut on their part. No one really knows why the Colts cut
bringing in DeForest Buckner. They take his contract a little bit.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, this year wasn't taking too much cap at all. But I was reading a story yesterday that this year was cut at 12 o'clock yesterday at noon. And then at 12:30, the Jets called him. So obviously the Jets really liked him. Didn't waste any time. I've been hearing great things about him. He shut down Hopkins last year.
He's good.
Matchups. He's
definitely a great pickup.
So, yeah, no, he's a good pickup. But really, what I've been focusing on today is of course the loss of Robbie Anderson. The only reason why he went to the Panthers, I mean, it's pretty clear cut in that Matt Rule obviously is the head coach down there. Robbie Anderson played for him at Temple, of course. Matt Rule coming over from Temple, or rather coming from Baylor, but he did coach at Temple. And that's why Robbie went down there. The contract, from his standpoint, especially with the quarterback situation down there, with no Cam, who's going to throw him the ball, the Jets could have easily afforded to pay him 2 years, $20 million.
Honestly, I think the Jets escaped this one here.
Why?
I'm not like a Robbie Anderson believer. I don't think this guy elevates an offense. I don't think this guy's a number one target. He's not a game changer to me. I don't go into if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm not going to the game planning for Robbie Anderson. I'm just not doing it. I'm not a believer in Robbie Anderson. And I think, honestly, Sam Darnold's favorite target over there is Jamison Crowder anyway.
Well, as of last year, but I mean, I liked what they were building on the offensive side of the ball last year. Bringing in Crowder was a great signing. I mean, if they can bring back Quincy Enunwa, and have him come back from that neck injury and be healthy.
I don't know if Enunwa's ever going to play again.
Apparently his rehab's going really well. He's trying to come back in September, I was reading. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously that'd be a great story. But, I mean, Robbie and Sam had some great connections. Robbie was the vertical threat. Right now the Jets don't have that vertical threat. I really think they're either going to trade down or they're going to get Judy or Jefferson. with that 10th pick.
Yeah, you got Judy and C.D. Lamb right there.
Or C.D. Lamb too, obviously. I'm fine with that, and that's probably with them not keeping Robbie. That's what I think is going to happen. I think
I think that's better off for the Jets. I think you're going to get a great wide receiver who I think Judy and C.D. Lamb. I think I'd rather have both those guys over Robbie Anderson, and you don't have to pay Robbie Anderson $10 million a year. You can spend that on a pass rush. You can spend that on another piece in the secondary. So right. I do not think it's a loss for the Jets here. I don't think he's an emotional attachment to the Jets. I don't think Jets fans were all over Robbie Anderson jerseys. I don't think that he meant that much to the Jets.
I think he was definitely a fan favorite, but I mean, they could have kept him and stayed away from Clowney and.
Wait, what do you mean stayed away from Clowney? They never got Clowney.
No, I know, but I mean, if that's what they're preparing now, since they have the extra money for Robbie, you know what I'm saying? So since they didn't spend the money on Robbie Anderson, now they're saying maybe, okay, now we can put that money towards Clowney.
Which I think every Jet fan would say yes to.
I would sign up for that too.
So even 1 year of Clowney, 1 year the $20 million they wanted to give Anderson, I'd rather give it to Clowney for just 1 year.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, he's only 27. He just turned 27, so he's gonna have a full year at 27 for defensive end. I think any team would sign up for that. I think he's gonna end up back in Seattle. I think that's my prediction.
We'll see. He's going to go wherever the money is. That's where Clowney's going to end up. Sticking with the Jets. Dev, do the Jets need a backup quarterback?
They do. They definitely need.
Is Trevor Siemian not the guy?
No, he's not. He wasn't the guy last year either, and clearly hasn't been the guy since he had that awesome season with the Broncos.
I think awesome's a stretch. Solid season.
Yeah, I mean, whoever paid him, I forget. I'm blanking out. Who paid him? Who paid him that big contract?
Did he get a big contract? No, you're talking about Osweiler. What are you talking about? Osweiler had the one good season in Denver.
Scratch that. Yeah,
Simeon had a solid few games in Denver, but he was not. He was not awesome.
They were both Broncos, right?
Yes.
But listen, if I'm the Jets, I don't know why they don't go after Flacco to back up Sam. I mean, you have a guy that's been in the league for 12 years.
Could share some knowledge.
Share some knowledge. He's a local guy. He's from Delaware. I love him. I mean, he's always been a quiet guy. He has great demeanor, and I think he has a great football mind. And I feel bad for Sam. I mean, I think he's done an amazing for a 22-year-old. He's had 2 different head coaches, no offensive line, nothing really going his way. I think he's performed amazing. He's held himself accountable. He's played very well in New York, handled the New York media exceptionally well. He doesn't need leadership as far as that goes. But I mean, anytime you can bring a Super Bowl winning quarterback behind you, and God forbid something happens to Sam, this guy can plug right in and have no problem. Especially if the Jets are really dead set on keeping Gase and he's playing for his job this year, I don't see why not.
Yeah, I really like them if they were to bring in Bro Flacco there, because Sam Darnold's first season, who backed him up?
His first season, man, now you're quizzing me.
What was it?
Yeah, look that up. Let me look that up. 2018 and my Jets roster.
Wasn't supposed to be like a quiz question, but I'm telling you, this guy has not been in a veteran quarterback presence, I believe. I don't think he's been in how Daniel Jones had Eli Manning present, and even, other quarterbacks around. Oh, McCown. Okay. Well, that is you needed to cut me off because that is definitely a veteran quarterback, Josh McCown. I believe he started some of those games. Didn't McCown start? McCown started that year, and then Sam came in.
Yeah.
Right.
Sam won the job. No,
Sam won the job right outright.
Out of camp, and then he got hurt. I think it was his shoulder.
And then McCown.
McCown came in towards the end of the year, which is fine. But
okay.
I've always been a big guy at Flacco.
Right. I mean, McCown's been a backup his whole career, but bringing in a Super Bowl quarterback can only help Sam Darnold, I think. If they bring in a guy like Winston, then I think Sam Darnold's job's in question. Do you think Darnold is he definitely the guy? Like, are you going to sign him for the next 10 to 12 years and just ride with him?
He is the guy, and he is the closest thing we've had to anything, and he is the dude. He's going to perform. Give him a number one guy. Draft that CeeDee Lamb, that Jefferson. Draft a number one wide receiver in that first round. Give him that offensive line, and everyone's going to shut up about him because I have not a doubt in the world that he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league in 5 years.
All right, we'll see. Our opinions differ there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about it. I think I said it since he came out of the draft. I said his ceiling is Carson Palmer. I said that's the guy's ceiling. I said I don't see him going anything over that. Was Carson Palmer a top 10 quarterback when he played? Perhaps. He was always around the cusp. He was around 10 in his prime. But yeah, I mean, I'm not completely sold on Darnold. I think, if I would maybe go the extra step and look into see what Winston wants, see if Winston's willing to sit, and if Sam gets hurt again, or if Sam's got 3 or 4 games where he's thrown 1 touchdown, 4 or 5 picks, and you're just like, hey, let's see if the laser eye surgery worked, Jameis. You're in there. Go take some snaps. Because I think Winston still has more to prove in this league, and he's one of the quarterbacks that are on the out looking in. So
listen, look,
there's got to be a home for Jameis somewhere.
He might be going to the AFC East, 200 miles to the north of Foxborough, but he's not going to New York. I guarantee you that.
Oh, no, I don't think Winston's going to the Jets. No. But it would be interesting to see a quarterback battle there. So other quarterbacks, we got Cam Newton still. Cam Newton's been released and ready to be picked up by whoever wants him. You got Ron Rivera, who just traded for Kyle Allen, who he worked with. I don't know if that says much about him and Cam's relationship, but to not maybe go after Cam, or maybe they're saying we really want Haskins to be the guy, Kyle Allen can be your backup, but if they're trying to roll with Haskins, which looks like it now, I think that number 2 pick is going to be spent on Chase Young. I don't think that they're going to take Tua after drafting a backup quarterback, not drafting, trading for Kyle Allen. So I don't see another quarterback going to Washington. But I mean, some places I have looking at for Cam Newton right now, maybe Denver, but I think Denver likes Drew Lock. Maybe the Chargers would go after Cam Newton, but I think they probably want to draft a guy. They have Tyrod Taylor as their number 1 right now. And I think Jacksonville needs to get someone. I think Jacksonville needs a quarterback. I think Winston in Jacksonville, if he wants to start, I think Jacksonville's a good place for that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, for Jameis, I really think it's going to be the Pats, or I think it's going to be Jacksonville. I think I'm a big Minshew believer. I do like him a lot.
Minshew Mania.
Minshew Mania, yep. Love the stash in the jorts. But, I mean, there has to be a competition there. It should not.
I think he's a very viable backup quarterback, but I think he needs some competition going in. Yes. He can't. I mean, I'm not going to just hand the job to Gardner Minshew right away, but I do think he's viable. I think he's a good guy. You don't mind having him start a game for you, thinking, he gives him a chance to win. Best way to put it. Minshew's going to give you a shot to win.
Well, yes, and listen, I mean, Jameis led the league in passing yards last year. The dude can play. He just has
passing yards and picks.
Yeah, that's it. So the dude can clearly play. Once he fixes his turnover, if he can, maybe the LASIK eye surgery thing, if that's, who knows. So, I mean, but I really think Cam's going to head out to L.A.
If you had to put money on Cam or Winston starting week 1, what quarterback's going to start? Both? Or which one would you pick? Both healthy.
Cam. If both healthy, I think it's Cam.
You think Cam's got a better shot to start than... Do you think both of them start, or you only think one of them's going to get a starting job?
I think both of them's going to start.
Both of them might start.
I think both of them are going to start. I really think Cam's going to head out to L.A. I think it's way too good of a fit for him. His personality fits out there. They're moving into a brand new stadium, rebranding, everything, the whole bit. You bring a former number 1 pick in there, a guy who's been to a Super Bowl, all those Pro Bowls, whatever. His personality, like I said, put him in that powder blue. I mean, he's going to look real good in the Charger uniform, and I'm rooting for that. I'm not a Cam Newton guy. I don't like him, but I hope he heads out west to the Chargers.
We'll see if the Chargers might want to they could trade with the Giants, get that 4th pick if they wanted to, and move up and go get Tua. The Chargers are in a very interesting spot with Tyrod Taylor, and we all know Burrow's going number 1 to Cincinnati, and then after that, it's going to fall down to Tua with the Dolphins. So the Giants are in a perfect spot for a team like the Chargers or Jacksonville or even Denver to say, their phone rings, hey, we want it, we want Tua, and the Giants can fall back. So we'll see if the Chargers want to do that, or a team like Denver or Jacksonville want to jump up there and get Tua. But I think Love is another good quarterback coming out of this draft. I think he's going to be he'll be a starter one day, not next year, but in the future, Julian Love will be a starter. Justin Herbert, I'm not a huge believer in, but he's going to go in the first round as well. So there are a couple quarterback options for teams like the Chargers, Denver, Jacksonville, if they don't want to go the veteran route with Winston or Newton. So that'll pretty much sum up our quarterback talk here. And Brian Hoyer signed with the Patriots, so they got Hoyer and Stidham there now. One of those guys are most likely going to be your week one starter for the Pats. And sticking with the Pats, Deshaun Watson sent out a pretty vague tweet. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. What was it?
I'll pull it up here so I can read it word for word. But it seemed to me like this guy did not say, hey, let's go Texans for life kind of thing.
Really?
Yeah, he... If you got it, go ahead.
Yep, I got it. So it says, I don't know how I'm going to make it out of here clean. Can't even keep track of who plays for the other team. Iconic duos, R.I.P. or RIP, I think. RIP and split, it seems. Otherwise, R.I.P.
Well, because it's spelt like that.
Yeah. So,
I mean, he's just saying, him and Hopkins duo is he's clearly talking about that. He's saying, I don't know where this franchise is going, but maybe I'm not on board.
What a disaster.
I mean, hey, he's another option. Maybe not this year, but come free agency, I see him being a huge free agent target, maybe for a team like the Patriots, but I think the Patriots want to see what this Stidham kid's got. And they're going to be disappointed, if you ask me.
I mean, hey, you have Bill Belichick, who believed in a 6th-round pick, 199th pick. He can make anything at anybody, so I wouldn't put it past him. Who knows?
Will it be Stidham or Hoyer starting week 1? I'm going to say it's Stidham.
I'm going to go Hoyer.
Really? No, I think they want to try Stidham. Maybe.
We'll see.
Maybe then work Stidham in. But we'll see. We'll see what the Pats do there. They also released Stephen Gostkowski. So teams with a kicker, he's your man. He's 100% your man.
At New York Jets.
Pretty much.
Please.
Other pickups around the league, Darius Slay goes to Philly. He will wear number 24 in honor of Kobe Bryant. Emmanuel Sanders going to hook up with Drew Brees. Gives him another option alongside Michael Thomas. I think that's a pretty good pickup. Melvin Gordon goes to Denver. Familiar face. They've seen him with the Chargers for years. So they know Broncos know what they're going to get. I mean, they've had Royce Freeman and Phillip Lindsay, so now you got 3 guys there. I mean, I probably would have tried to spend my money elsewhere if I was the Broncos. I think he got 2 years, $16 million. But yep, Melvin Gordon is a Bronco, and Todd Gurley goes to Atlanta. I like that signing for Atlanta. I do. I mean, they lost Freeman. Freeman was getting old. He was I think he got injured last season. Not a viable RB1 anymore, I think. I think he's on his way out, Devontae Freeman. Good back, though, can still give you some good rushes. But I really like Gurley there.
I love Gurley. I still do. I think he's going to tear it up down in Atlanta. And that offense is going to be nice.
Yeah, him, Julio,
come back.
Matt Ryan, can he keep it going? You don't know if his cliff is coming soon.
Ridley. I mean, they got a nice
Yep.
offense down there.
Calvin, Julio,
great
yep.
out of the backfield. He, Matty out of the gun. Even just some dump offs. Gurley's
Definitely a weapon.
PPR machine in fantasy. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Speaking upon experience.
Yeah, definitely a good thing going there in Atlanta he's got. All right, and to sum up the show, the Olympics are canceled / postponed to 2021. Kind of a no-brainer here, right?
Yeah, it was bound to happen. I think what really woke them up was Canada pulling out. But I think they had their decision.
Yeah, Canada did, Australia did, and they seemed like they were giving it themselves like a 4-week window, and athletes are like, oh, so you're going to tell us in 4 weeks, so we still have to keep training in these where my gym is closed and I'm doing band exercises in my basement at this point.
Yep.
So,
but hey, I have no problem with this. We're going to have 2 straight years in the Olympics. When does that happen?
Yeah, 2021, 2022. We'll get summer, winter back to back. Not the biggest deal, but it does feel like it's been a while since the Olympics were on the TV. But come back, do it right. This virus will be over by 2021. We can all hope this will be done. It could be done by July. They might have been able to have it, but even with just the melting pot of people that go to the Olympics from all over the world, you don't want to see like another spike in this virus. So no brainer. They got this one right.
Yeah, they did. They made the right decision, and Tokyo's going to do a good job.
Yeah,
they'll do a great job.
So other events due to the virus, Mark Cuban said that he would like to see the NBA back by May, maybe not with fans, because people need sports, and it's true. People need sports. I mean, it's escape from reality, and right now the reality is the coronavirus, and there's really nothing to escape to right now.
No, it's everywhere. You just can't escape it. I mean, I love I think the leagues are doing a great job. I really do. With the NBA giving league pass, the NHL actually in 10 minutes. The NHL is playing some reruns. Probably my favorite sporting event ever. The Devils beating the Rangers in overtime to go to the Stanley Cup Final in 2012. They're replaying that.
I don't know why you just had to throw that at me, but okay.
Sorry,
thanks, Dev. Just gonna rub it in there. All right.
I know I had to.
All right.
So I mean, they're trying as much as they can. The MLB, of course, as always, is lagging behind a little bit. But the NFL, even the NHL, the NBA, they're all trying to do their best.
And you saw the NHL today cut 25% of those executive wages to prevent layoffs. So
yeah, that was nice too.
Yeah, so guys can keep their jobs. In this time, people just want that job security. So it's good to see them. Rather more people with jobs. Then that 25% will come back once everything's up and running again.
Yeah.
So for the time being, a pay cut's not the worst thing. Us freelancers out there are pretty much done for right now until things kick back up. So it's time for us to hit the unemployment check. So not much we can do in the freelance world. But those that do have staff jobs, lucky for them to keep it, and good for the NHL to prevent layoffs like that.
Exactly.
So props there.
Happen, but they're doing a good job.
And the NFL did say today that they do plan on going on with the draft in late April. They don't have any plans of sort of postponing it. I saw GMs call for that. Some GMs did want this to be postponed. But, I mean, you can have it there with no people. You can say no fans, no nothing. Don't have it in Las Vegas. Go have it in literally City Hall for all I care. No one's going to go to it. But if you want to have it, have it. It's not a big deal. I think, guys can play. Teams can call in and just say, hey, this is who we're going for. But then there's the other part where they want to see more workouts. They want to see, more things like that, I guess you can say. But I don't think it's a huge deal yet. We'll see how bad. I think they're kind of waiting this out to see come the first week of April if things are getting worse or better to have the draft or not.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're making the right decision. I didn't even think about not having it in Vegas, Lou. That's actually a very good point.
I would save that. That looks so freaking cool. The whole setup and everything with the boat, and it looked awesome. I was so looking forward to that. But do it in 2021. Just save that. Save that. Don't give us a half-axed. I can't ever say the word axed. So don't give us that sideshow in Vegas. Give us the real thing next year. This year, just take the L and just have it elsewhere.
I don't think anyone's really going to care either.
No. People just want some sort of event, something to look forward to, something. That'll pretty much wrap this up. Thanks for listening to another episode of Keep It on the DL. Stay healthy out there, everyone. We'll see you next time.